Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to bring something to your attention, and I think it's very relevant, and I think everybody needs to see the severity of it and pass it around and share it. So here I was on the classic MedBud. So for those that don't know, MedBud is where you go and search for everything that the clinics offer. You can find out what clinics are available. You can find out what strains are available, what strains are coming. You can predict the future with that website a lot. And you can make special orders to your clinic when they don't have things. You can ask for anything on MedBud to be sent to your clinic. So now I want to point you to this link in MedBud where I found that this, and it enables us to be able to sign this, and hopefully medical patients will be able to create 3 to 6 plants, or 3 to 4, can't remember the number now, but it's important that we look at this. So let's see it. And the main thing is pass this around so we can get to 10,000 signatures. The minute we can do that, we'll be a step closer to actually getting this done. They're going to fight it as they do, but without the 10,000, we haven't even got a shot at bringing it in front of these donuts. So moving forward, that's that. Second thing I want to touch on is, you know me by now, and if you don't, you must be sleeping in a box or some shit, you know. But you know me, and I love my exotic terpene profiles, crazy ones, the mad crazy ones. Yeah? If they ain't boom, I don't even want it. So anyway, I was on MedBud and I said, let me find the exact strain I'm looking for. Now I want to run you over what happened many years ago to me, and this will give you the experience, at least a vision of the experience, so that you can understand why I'm at where I am today. So in around 2001, one of my friends come and brought me a drawer, and he's like, here, scorting, and it was like 3.5, £20. So old days, you know, a few younger don't even know about them times, but a lot of people here would. So big up to all you that have been in the game a long time. Anyway, 3.5, £20. He comes to me, he's like, I said, what's that? Why is it so dark? It was like black in colour. He's like, oh, this is sativa. The name Savs, sativa. I said, back then, I already knew that that's just, you know, a type. Like a sativa, indica, you know, whatever it is, hybrid. But he's saying it like the name of the strain. Anyway, it smelled of aniseed and licorice to the high heavens. And it's dark in colour, and it was scraggly. There was very, very scraggly buds, tiny popcorns, and not even really buds, more flattened, like it had been vacuumed, you know, and brought over from South Africa. But it was, you know, I can't really describe it other than the aroma. And nothing that I've had today, or sourced or created in a country where you're allowed, or I've never been able to replicate it. So I've never found it. I've just never found that strain. So this is, and it's one of those where it's the only strain in the world where you can smoke it. One spliff, and leave the house for 5 hours and come back and the house is still aniseed, licorice. Now, some of you, there'll be one of you that knows exactly what I'm talking about. Most won't, because that has just never been really seen since that era, not in the UK anyway. And if one of you's seeing that now, you need to get in touch with me immediately. I don't care who you are, just get in touch. There's money in it for you as well. I have to have that, you know, beautiful tasting strain. So anyway, moving forward is I just wanted to say that, so I went on MedBud and I typed in Durban, because Durban is the closest that I can think of that resembles that aniseed licorice terpene profile. So I typed Durban and comes this 18% Durban Sky. So lineage urban poison and this other strain. So what I would like everyone to do is, who is interested in terpene profiles, is to request this particular strain. As you can see, it says ETA coming soon. So basically it's not available yet, but if you put this order in now, or not the order but the request, all the clinics can get it, because only a few clinics have it and or will have it. And so I would not want to miss out on that just because some clinics think, oh, it's only 18% or it's rare or they don't want it. If you read this write-up, it says exactly what I was talking about too, which further confirms what I was saying. It says here, see, unique or interesting terpene profiles, like, it's all what I was saying. So guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where if you want things, you need to ask for it. So everything on this site, medbud.wiki, is available to you as a patient. You can go on here and select anything you like and ask your clinic for it. If you do that every day, they will get pissed off with you. So keep it minimal, your requests, but occasionally doing that with a polite email saying, please, do you mind getting this in? I know you don't have it, goes a long way. And I would suggest that way we're not, because what's happening now is what the clinics are being overrun by strains that say 2 or 3 people want, or maybe it's 10 people, but it's not everyone. And so if everybody gets involved with this, asking for what they want, not just this what I showed you, but look on here and find strains that you want that are not on your clinic, ask for it, get them on your clinic, and that way other people that eventually go on that same clinic who belong to your clinic now have a really nice choice and variety, because everybody's doing what I suggest and I'm doing it and I get it done. So I don't know why everyone couldn't do it, and in theory they could. So I think everyone should do that, and that way there'll be a lot more variety on there, and there'll be a lot more choice, and I think it will just be better for everyone, instead of just seeing the gases and the weakness, a lot of weakness. And that's it for that one, guys. And then there's one more thing I wanted to touch on, and now I can't remember the strain off the top of my head, but there's a strain you need to watch out for on your clinics, and look at the lineage, and the lineage will show you that is a Ruderalis. So clinics have sold their soul, if you like, and started importing in auto-flowering Ruderalises. Now, don't get me wrong, for people who are like, doing it for a living, or, they're on some sort of schedule, or they're like tight for time, great, autos are great. Or if you can't be bothered with scheduling, or whatever it is the reason, fine. But for clinics to be cutting the corner, that doesn't make any sense. So when I saw this strain and this strain crossed with a Ruderalis, again, I can't tell you what it was, I don't remember, but you have to look at the lineage of everything you're buying, because Ruderalis is simply, to put it blunt, to put it short, is, when I was young, there was a strain called Lowrider, and I wasn't young, but it was like 10 years ago, and so I was younger, but Lowrider, and Lowrider was one of the first, I think, if not the first, from Joint Doctor, I think it was, who who had the first auto flowering plants, and they were like, mini. They were as small as up to your shin, on a 6 foot man, up to your shin, and so they were tiny and they yielded very little. And over time, they got better. I think they brought out a Betty Boo, if I remember, was the smallest one they had, and a Betty Boo was like the second auto flower, and then they had a New York City Diesel lowrider and a couple others. I don't really remember too much, but all of them things, was the pioneers of auto flowering. And don't get me wrong, they had its place. I was wowed with it at the beginning, and I used to run around telling people, and explaining it, showing it. But the point is that, and now has got better. Yeah, they're making double XL auto flowers, Dynafem, etc. And there's huge the Ultimate Auto from Dutch Passion that just does everything well and in auto variety. But in the beginning days, lowrider had the problem of being too small, yielded nothing, was not worth it, and so lowrider, being a fundamental, the first auto flower, because everything comes from that, the plant that was in Russia basically and can grow in the cold with any season. So that's great for people who don't have a climate. Like, example, if you were doing it outdoors in England, great, for that, if it was allowed, which it isn't. But so for that, you could do that. It would be useful. But for cold, like I said, Russia or Himalayas, cold, somewhere really cold, that can withstand a lot of temperature fluctuations, that's great. And it doesn't need the seasons to start flowering, it just does it in time in the genetics. So after 7 days it just starts flowering, or 14 days, 21 days. So I mean, that's fine, but for clinics to be importing autoflower, that's a bit of a joke. So I'm going to search for it now, see if we can see it. And I just think that clinics really need to be up in the game. So when I saw Ruderalis, I thought, oh no, this is the start where the clinics now starting to cut corners now already. I've seen it now. So they, what it is, the big guys at the top, or the women, a lot of them as well, these superintendents of these, not feds, but I don't even know why they call them that, but superintendents of the clinics, they're cutting corners because they're realizing, instead of 2 million a year, we can make 3 million if we just cut this corner, or we just, and honestly, buying Ruderalis, I can guarantee you they're buying it for cheaper than what sourdough would cost or something else. That's a full plant, and we're going to be paying 85 for those ones. I remember that price being 70 or 75, the Ruderalis. And now we've seen it and people are accepting it, because I haven't seen any uproar about it. That means chaos. So that means chaos in the future. Because Ruderalises are weak. They're known for being weak. And the strains are already weak. So we don't need to be weakening them with Ruderalis. That's what I'm saying. So sorry that this video has not been scripted, but I wanted it to be from the heart, and there's nothing better than talking from the heart. So he's like, why are we paying big money to have Ruderalis? Are you mad? Are you mad? I'll turn up to the clinics myself and go mad. That's mad. So I'd rather just not buy it if it's coming to this level. So everyone needs to watch out for that. Don't buy Ruderalis. It might be nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely not taking the risk, because, like I said, in Spain, where I started things, some other things, I was doing some great things over there with some great companies, and nobody likes Ruderalis. So if the experts of the world don't like Ruderalis, they say, it's got its place, etc. And I loved it as 10 years ago. I loved it because I thought it was an amazing thing, 10, 15, 20 years ago. I thought it was very cool. But now it's like, they've come a long way since Betty Boo and Lowrider. But should clinics be getting Ruderalis? I don't think so. But that's up to you. I mean, some people will be happy buying it because, like I said, it may be strong, maybe, but imagine if all the strains, or generally, a lot of them are weak already, or weaker than the street, which shouldn't be happening, then just goes to show you. I mean, and then Ruderalis, come on, you're going to put that in there as well? That's going to dampen down the strains even more. Remember, because all that really does, it doesn't ever add strength or flavour or effect. It only adds the seasonal change and the ability for it to flower on its own without changing the light schedule or giving it a season. Yeah, without a season, it can do its own thing. So but for a clinic to be getting it, and that means that the breeder, that particular breeder, whoever it was, is crap, hands down. Because or they just wanted an easier ride. Because there's no, I mean, the thing is, there's no such thing as easier ride either. So I think they were just crap at doing it. But you know why there's no such thing as easier ride? Because if you have a warehouse and you have a license and everything, and you're doing that for the government or for these clinics, you just have a switch, a timer, and it does everything. So what? One switch of you can't make a change, one change. So it's nothing to do with the change. It's just to do with they don't know what they're doing. So they just auto, beginner. We don't need more beginners in the space. I'm telling you. Watch when I anyway, things are bubbling up in the pot. I'm in touch with a lot of different organizations, and I'm on the verge of opening a proper. I'm not going to give anything away yet, but guys, this is going to be great for the market. Obviously, I'm just waiting for some approval, some last approvals and stuff. Once that happens, it's game over for the rest of the breeders. So, guys, they need to up their game, otherwise I'm going to be upping it for you. So, come on. If you like the video, like it, subscribe. I just wanted to give you a little take today. Peace out. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to bring something to your attention.